God knows that you really want a partner. He knows you really want a partner. You're not asking for a mansion. You're not asking to be famous. You're not asking for a perfect life. You're just asking for someone that you can share it with. And that's not bad. And sometimes that feels like too much to ask. And I know what it feels like to be surrounded by people and you still feel alone. I teach in two private schools. I stand in front of students every day. I speak, I guide, I encourage, I connect. I volunteer at church as a translator. I serve, I help people understand. And from the outside, it looks full. It looks busy, purposeful, meaningful, and yes, it is. But being busy doesn't cancel the desire to have someone. Serving God doesn't erase the longing to be loved by someone. You can love your calling and still wish you had a partner to come home to. And sometimes, after a long day of giving everyone else, serving, doing, and all these things, and you just want someone to ask, how was your day? How are you? What was your day like? And that desire is not weakness, it is in all of us. That's human. And if you look at Genesis, it says that it's not good for man to be alone. So we may ask ourselves, so why does it feel like he's keeping you there? That's the real question, isn't it? You prayed, you fasted, you tried to be patient, and still nothing happens. And you look at other people, they're getting married, they're getting engaged, they're starting having families, and you're still waiting. Let me say, let me tell you something gently but honestly. Delay is not rejection. I talked about that a lot in my previous videos. Delay is not rejection. God is not holding love away from you like punishment. Sometimes He delays because He sees what you cannot see. There are people you would have chosen last year that would have broken you this year. There are relationships that look good in photos but would have destroyed your peace. And God sees 10 years ahead, but you only see 10 days ahead. That difference is huge. It matters. Now, here's what becomes scary. Waiting becomes dangerous when loneliness starts making decisions for you. When you start thinking, maybe this person is good enough, maybe this person is good enough, or maybe I'm asking God too much, that's why I don't get it. Or maybe I should just settle. I don't have to wait anymore. No, loneliness is loud, but it is not wise. In other words, a rushed relationship can cost you years of healing. I've seen it. I've counseled students. I've watched people in church ignore red flags because they were tired of waiting and they didn't get love. They got lessons, but often those lessons are hard ones. While you are waiting, it doesn't mean that God is doing nothing. He is just shaping you. When I stand in front of my students, I realize something. Leadership requires maturity. Yes, it requires maturity. And marriage, that requires even more. It requires patience, self control, communication, stability. It's not a rushed relationship. God prepares people before He connects people. If He gave you the right person before you were ready, you might lose them. And if He gave you someone that is not meant for you, you might lose yourself. Like I said, you may see 10 days ahead, but God sees 10 years ahead. That's a major difference. I'll be honest, there are nights I prayed and said, Lord, I'm doing your work. I'm serving. I'm serving in the church. I serve. Why does this one area feel empty? And I've learned lessons. God cares more about who I am becoming than what I am receiving. Your season of waiting is not wasted, and it is building depth in you. And the right person won't just be attached to your face. They will be able to handle your depth. Stop comparing timelines. Some people marry at 22 and regret at 30. Some people marry at 35 and still thrive for life. God's timing is personal. It is different for each and every one of us. God's timing is different. It's unique. You know why? Because everyone that God created is unique. That's why God's timing for everyone is also unique. You're not special than me. I'm not special than you. We're just unique in different ways. He is not late, but he is precise. And if you are still single right now, it is not because you are forgotten, it is because your story is still being written. So, what should you do? Don't put your life on pause. Don't put your life on pause. Improve yourself every single day because the kind of person you want is praying for, because somehow life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you deserve. And you should pray honestly. Don't pray spiritual sounding prayer. Just simply tell God the truth. Lord, I'm tired. Lord, I feel lonely. Lord, I want love. And he can handle your honesty. Let me close with this. God knows the prayers you stopped saying out loud. He knows the tears you hide when people ask, "So are you seeing anymore?" He knows the nights you scroll and wonder when it is my turn. And when the time comes, it will not feel rushed. And rushed love sounds like this: "We just met, but I don't want to lose you. I know these are red flags, but what if this is my only chance? Let's decide quickly because something dangerous can happen." For example, you met someone, you both take time to know each other. There's no panic about locking it down. Conversation build natural. You both feel like you're racing against time. It feels steady. It will not feel forced. And forced love looks like this: you're constantly trying to convince one another. You're adjusting your personality to keep them. You're over explaining yourself. You feel like you're auditioning. You text carefully. You begin to analyze every single text. You feel emotionally exhausted. That's not alignment. Alignment feels like you can be yourself. You don't have to shrink or exaggerate. Conversation don't feel like strategy. Not one person pulling the weight, pulling one another. Peace doesn't mean perfect. It just means you're not constantly confused. You're not losing sleep. You're not doubting your worth. That's clarity. Even if challenges come, your spirit isn't constantly disturbed. And it will feel peaceful because when God writes a love story, it doesn't begin with anxiety, it begins with alignment. What is alignment in a relationship? Alignment means your values match, your faith direction matches, your life pace matches, your maturity levels are compatible. Let's say you're building discipline, serving in church, growing spiritually. If someone comes to mock your faith or competes with your growth, that's not alignment. Alignment feels like they respect you, they respect your calling, they respect your growth. You both move forward, not sideways. It doesn't disturb your purpose, it strengthens it. Why anxiety is not a good foundation for a relationship? An anxiety based love sounds like, what if they leave? What if I'm not good enough? What if someone better appears? You'll constantly need reassurance. That is instability. That's not alignment. That's not the right person. It can be a rushed relationship or misalignment. So what does this means practically? Well, if you're constantly anxious, if you're constantly anxious, constantly confused, constantly unsure, don't call it love, call it misalignment. And don't be afraid to walk away from something that feels chaotic. God sees, God does not need confusion to create connection. When it's alignment, you won't feel like you're losing yourself. You will feel steady, and steady love lasts longer than intense love. So trust God, not blindly, okay, but faithfully. Trust God faithfully. Your waiting is not empty; it's preparation, and God's timing is not slow; it's sovereign. And so, if this spoke to you, please share it to someone else who's been quietly waiting to. And remember this, you're not alone this season. Some people will experience moment in their life they will feel like that. Some people they used to feel like that. Some people they are feeling it right now. Like some people who are watching, you're feeling it right now. And some people will experience that in the future. That's in all of us. That's human. That's part of being human, is to feel loved, is to feel appreciated, to have someone that you can talk to have someone that you can share your life with, share your problems with. It's like the person is your world. And some people feel like if they lose their partner or the person that they really love the most, they might lose their world. When we have problems, we go to that person. When we let that person know, we feel relief. And that is the truth. Have you ever seen people, or you felt by yourself, it's like that when you break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, or you feel like you you lose the greatest part of your life, you lose your world, that everything doesn't seem to matter. And that is true.